For the past few weeks, I've been talking to you about how to be successful in getting out of debt. I've told you that it's not that hard a path if you have a plan, if you have a mentor, or at least if you have a path to follow. But there's another aspect of being successful that doesn't deal with what I call the mechanics, but in my opinion is even more powerful than just learning what you need to do. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. As a matter of fact, it's so important, I'll make the statement that if you don't follow this, you're almost certain to fail. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Ron Mead. Now, I know I mentioned I've got about 51 years of business experience, so I know a little bit about what I'm talking here. And I can guarantee you this is the key to your business success. And if you don't do it, the chances you're going to fail are pretty good. Now, I've been mostly featuring the why I think YouTube is the absolute best opportunity for you today, especially if you're struggling with debt of any kind, be it student loans, credit cards, or any other debt that you've accumulated. But today, I'm going to reveal to you one of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned, and you can learn it yourself no matter what kind of business you're wanting to start. It applies to anything. Today, I want to share something really powerful. I was recently reading a book called The Power of Unwavering Focus by Dan DePandy, and it reminded me that I had never mentioned this. I was reading and it clicked in my mind how critical this is. So I'm going to feature today what focus really is. And trust me, it's probably not what most of you think. Now, I've heard this and I'm sure you've said it or I've said it myself. I just need to focus more. But here's the truth. Focus isn't something you're magically born with. It's a skill you can develop. And just like any skill, it can be trained, it can be strengthened, and it can be mastered. So let's break down what DePandy says in his book about how you can start applying this to your daily life. So first, he gives us this super cool way to think about it in the mind. So close your eyes here and think about this. Imagine your mind is a huge, beautiful landscape, almost like a garden. In it, you've got all kinds of paths. You've got thoughts, you've got emotions, you've got memories, you've got ideas, you've got failures, you've got fears. But here's the key. Let's focus on your awareness because awareness is not the mind itself. Awareness is kind of like the traveler walking around the outside of the garden. It can wander into the past, you can make it replay a mistake, it can rush into the future, you can worry about what might happen, or and this is the part we want to talk about, you can train it to stay right here in the present moment. Now, most of the time, though, our awareness is like a leaf blowing in the wind. It's random, it's scattered, it's all over the place. But once you realize that you can guide your awareness, it's almost like taking it by the hand and leading it down the path you want. That's when you start to get real control over your focus. Now, here's where people mess up. We think multitasking is focus. Wrong. Not a chance. It's actually the opposite. Multitasking spreads your energy very, very thin. It's like trying to shine sunlight through the clouds. True focus is like a laser beam, sharp, directed, and powerful. And another myth, that willpower alone will get you there. You can't just grit your teeth and say, I'll focus harder today and expect that to last. That doesn't work. That's like saying you run a marathon without training. Focus isn't about force, it's about practice. Practice. Small daily habits that literally train your mind the way an athlete trains their body. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about awareness. In his book, he makes it very clear that awareness and your mind are separate. Awareness and your mind are separate. Awareness is the traveler and the mind is the terrain. So if your awareness keeps wandering into anger, frustration, or negativity, guess what? Those mental pathways get stronger, just like trails in a forest that keep getting walked on. But if you consistently guide your awareness to gratitude, creativity, love, those paths strengthen instead. And here's the golden line. Where awareness goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, life grows. Think about that. Wherever you put your awareness, that's where your life energy is going. You're literally growing the garden of your mind every single day by where you choose to place your attention. So how do you practice this? How do you develop this? Well, here's a few suggestions that you could start in a very small way. Let's say you're making a cup of tea, but instead of checking your phone while the water's getting boiling, just be there with the process. Put the cup in your hand. Listen to the water as it starts to bubble. Breathe a little bit. Focus on the tea. Rather than let your mind wander around, slow down. Give the act your full attention. In other words, be present. And here's the one that we all commit. When you're talking to someone, actually be there. Don't be planning your response. Stop talking. No sneaking glances at your phone. Be fully there. These small, ordinary moments are training grounds for focus. They build mental strength. So when it's time to concentrate on a big goal or a big relationship, you've already built that muscle. So here's the big takeaway, I think. Focus is not optional. It's the foundation for creating the life you want. You're already training your mind every day. The only question is, are you training it to be scattered or are you training it to be laser sharp? Remember, you have the power to guide awareness. And where awareness goes, energy flows. So ask yourself right now, where am I placing my awareness today? Because that's the life I'm actually growing. So that's my message today. Focus on awareness and keep it in a positive manner. If you found this helpful, drop a like below or maybe forward this to somebody that might benefit from it. That's about all I'm going to go into today. I try to keep these short enough so that you can absorb really what I'm trying to focus on in the message and not just go on forever. Also, I'm still 100% behind using YouTube to get out of debt. And if you see there's a link below that'll lead you to a webinar that will explain further why this is the path that I've chosen. And it's the path that I believe is the very best one for you. So thanks for watching and we'll talk with you soon. Bye now.